Are you missing something?
No, I was just hoping I was going to find something about our topic that was like fun and exciting.
Oh,
Okay, so I have to ask,
yes.
did the Cool Whip topping on yours like rise to the top?
No, which is what I was expecting. Because it specifically
Okay.
said the instructions that I used specifically said don't fill up, like leave, it said like an inch. And the
Yeah.
so truth be told, what I ended up using was actually like a bread mold. It's specifically
Hmm.
for, if I'm not mistaken, it's specifically for like cornbread. So I
Oh.
wasn't sure it was going to work, but I'm like, a brain is a brain. So I was
Yeah.
mostly worried that that like it would stick too much, and so I did
Yeah.
use the oil like it suggested, and it that wasn't a problem. It didn't stick at all, but no, it was pretty much at the same level all night. I was kind of thinking I should have put it in the freezer or something, but it didn't
Yeah.
rise at all. And
Okay.
I whipped it good. So I don't know if
Oh,
maybe I just got more air out of it or what, but
I don't know. I also didn't necessarily follow the instructions.
okay.
So instead of like waiting to add in the topping, I just added everything relatively close.
Oh.
But I like it because then when I was like scooping it out, because I just put it in a bowl and a spoon, I didn't have like any specific molds to play with.
Right.
It actually gives me more of a brain vibe,
Okay.
which
Cuz
for,
cuz it's kind of gushy.
well, it's the layering, which I feel like you would not know this unless you took some sort of anatomy class
Oh.
where, yeah, so the second photo, that's like what mine looks
Oh.
like more.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I ended up making two batches deliberately to try this. Um
Okay.
so I just kind of in a Halloween vibe, I was like, one, I don't know if I've really liked Jell-o with whipped topping in it. Like I know a lot of, it's kind of a
Mhm.
big Midwest thing,
It is a
and
Midwest thing.
yeah, and so I'm like, well, just in case I like really don't like it or whatever, I'll have like regular Jell-o. And then since I was doing the whipped topping anyway, and I kind of
Mhm.
figured there's no fucking way I'm gonna use all of it just in those little brains, because the thing that I have is it only has like six little things, and
Yeah.
they're not even an inch deep. So I definitely did
They're
not use the
little.
right sorts of
Eh,
like molds.
that's
But
fine.
yeah, but they looked like brains. And
Yeah.
so I made a separate little thing, and then I decided to just pour the whipped one on top of it when I was done with the brains. And
Ah.
the instructions said, you know, put it in the fridge so that it thickens. And then when I pulled it out and was adding the whipped topping, I'm like, this still just feels like a liquid, like water. It barely feels like it's thickened at all.
Mhm.
So I was worried it wouldn't work, but yeah, I poured the whipped topping Jell-o on top of the standard Jell-o, and it went for what I was going for, like the idea of being on the sea, and one has to do what one does when rations run out. And
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, we'll eat brains and human flesh, and so I was going for a layer of skin and then like muscle tissue, and it turned out okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it gives me more of a brain vibe with the layering, and I'll make sure to put photos of both of them on Instagram for everyone. So the layered pink one is mine, and then the general pink one is Matt's, and then the pink and red one is also Matt's. So it's kind of funny with the way the brain is structured, the like outer parts of the ridges are a
Hmm.
little more spaced out, so that it has like kind of, they look like air pockets, but I don't think that's actually like what they are necessarily.
Interesting. So So generally speaking, the deeper you go into the brain, the
It's like
denser it
more,
is.
yeah, it's more dense and
Oh,
compact. It's very interesting. And it does kind of have like the, so if you have like the top of the ridge, it'll be like a little more like spongy almost, and then like gets more dense and like has a little bit of like color
weird.
differentiation. It's very subtle, but for anyone who has taken an anatomy class and you do a brain dissection, it's that. You'll know what that means.
I have to admit, I would have assumed that the brain was more or less like the same all the way through. I mean,
It's,
obviously, different parts do different things, but
yeah,
huh,
it's very interesting. They're
that is
they're fun to
interesting.
look at, and it is also interesting how the brain differs from when you have something like Alzheimer's or dementia, because it actually like physically eats away at your brain.
Yeah, that I did know a little bit just from various videos I've seen where they show like brain scans and stuff, and they're like, yeah, they're. I mean, the reason that this shit isn't working anymore is it's literally just being destroyed. Like
Yeah.
it's just being disappeared essentially.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The brain is an
Very sad.
interesting organ.
It is. And for anyone who's wondering what the fuck we're talking about Jell-o, because this is
Yes.
peculiar pairings. And welcome, hello.
Hello.
My name is Matt.
I am Celine. You've arrived.
Hello, welcome. Yeah, I feel like I said that really weird. Like this is just a fact, and
I am
that's
me.
the end. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it turned into Groot from.
I am Groot.
Yeah. And we are doing a pairing this week of like strawberry Jell-o. Well, technically mine's raspberry cranberry or something. I don't know. Mine's raspberry based Jell-o infused with whipped topping. I believe I ended up with just what the hell, like whipped Cool Whip. That's what it is. But a
I
store brand version of that.
I think I went with or strawberry for my flavor.
Nice.
Either way, both are red and delicious.
Well, yeah, I realized I'd never had raspberry. I'm like, strawberry always seems so
Really?
sweet, so I decided to go for raspberry, and it's not
Strawberry is
disappointing.
like a signature flavor.
It is, yeah. I was gonna go with that, but I'm like, I've always had strawberry. I should try raspberry. It's working out pretty
Good.
well. I'm not a huge fan of Jell-o in general. I'm not really a
Yeah.
sweets person overall, but we went with Jell-o because we're talking about a ghost ship. And although I usually leave it to you to introduce the full topic, we started talking about the Jell-o, so I figured I'd mention why we're doing that. And
we did it to talk about a ghost ship.
yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, it's when you're out on the sea, sometimes you run out of food, and choices have to be made, and so you might end up eating your friend, which is not great, but you make do. You know, sometimes things just happen. It's the law of the sea, and you don't talk about it.
It is. It's you don't talk about it. You don't tell
Yeah,
anybody.
you don't judge when
No, you
men
won't
return.
judge.
Yeah, when the men return from the sea, it is what it is. Some return and some don't. The sea takes what it takes. The sea is always right.
The sea is a cruel mistress.
Yeah, yeah. So we have brain molded bits of Jell-o with whipped topping, and then we tried to create sort of a skin and meat looking thing as the treat, and we're pairing that with what I just sort of came up with. I don't know if you're supposed to use this as a mix, but we're going with Sunny D and rum because.
Yep.
For some reason, when you said ghost ship, I thought pirates, and pirates are always associated with rum, so
And
that
scurvy.
felt right. Yeah, and then the orange juice was like, well, if you're out on the sea, you got to fight scurvy. I don't know how good. I wasn't thinking about it. Like, I suppose they have to infuse it with vitamin C because I don't know if 100% of your vitamin C. Okay. I was a little worried when I first mentioned it. Like, I don't know if it would technically fight scurvy, but yeah, it should. It's a ripoff of orange juice, so there you go.
Yeah, I think it should.
Yeah,
As far as I know, it should.
yeah, it says it has 100%, and I do feel I should mention when I very first thought this up, I said Tang, without realizing that as far as I can tell, that shit just straight up doesn't exist anymore. I think maybe in a certain specialty store you can find it, but I went to grocery stores, no record of Tang at all. I went to like where the Kool-Aid things
Aw.
are with the mixtures. Do you like, because it originally started as like a powder, and then I know they did
Yeah.
have like bottled versions. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I don't know if it's just in the Midwest or something, but it is gone. So we're doing
No,
Sunny D.
we definitely had it here. I remember having it here, but like
Hmm.
we also did not look very hard at the store. We're going down by stuff and then was like, oh, Sunny D. And I'm like, I mean, that's close enough.
Yeah. And it is. It's basically the same kind of flavoring and stuff.
Yeah,
And I
it's
was even thinking,
orange.
if I was thinking today that like, because for some reason I went to the store over the weekend like for the Jell-o stuff and just completely forgot to get the Tang, even to look for it. So
Yeah.
I did it real quick on my lunch break today at work, and went to a gas station. And I'm like, oh god, I only have like 20 minutes left. And then I ended up going past two grocery stores, and I remember as a kid seeing it next to like the Kool-Aid little tubs. And
Mhm.
so I didn't search like the whole stores. I just didn't have time. But yeah, I did not see hide nor hair of any Tang. So if
Well,
you're gone from us, Tang, may you rest in peace. You were once
yeah,
delightful.
yes. I feel like that's a lot of things from our youth
Yeah.
are just gone. And you're like, oh, when did
I
that happen?
Oddly enough, I find myself reminiscing just to myself about Skippets. I had
Oh
one as
my
a kid.
God, I loved the one I had.
don't, I don't even remember like really liking it, because even as a young kid, I would do it for like 2 minutes, and you try to get the clicker to go up higher and higher. And after just a little bit, I'm like, this is just adults tricking us into exercising. I'm like, this isn't really fun, or like, it's the saddest like jump roping kind of thing there
It
can
kind of
be,
is like
because
a
you're
sad jump rope.
yeah, because you just don't have friends, so you're trying to just do this thing by yourself. But that's the other thing. Like, you can still play with a jump rope by yourself, so it shouldn't be sadder.
Yeah.
But it's as if I don't know. It's as if they wanted to make it possible for you to do like a sort of double Dutch style jump roping by yourself, but you don't have friends. So
Double Dutch is hard.
oh yeah, no, would never be
So
able to do
hard.
double Dutch. I've
No.
I've witnessed it once in my life in real life, and I'm like, I've seen videos of it. I've seen, it's in TVs and movies. It is just as difficult or more difficult looking in real life, and I don't know how people comprehend what's going on.
I've heard that like once you get started, it's easier, but it's the
Yeah.
getting started that's really hard.
Yeah, I think the thing, because I'm sure once you get in, like, it's just about keeping the beat essentially, which is why it's usually accompanied with songs and stuff. As long as
Yeah.
you know when to jump, but like I can't comprehend like knowing how to get into it, like how you would jump, like the way they jump in and out is, it kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. That
But
is that is true.
I feel like that is a long enough preamble for us to officially
Right.
get to the thing. Celine, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about the SS Ourang Medan, which is a ghost
Ooh,
ship. Ooh.
that sounds scary. Makes me think of like creaking wood panels and fluffing ship sails and stuff, and the very soft, distant caw of a seagull.
I can't do it.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, oh boy, Matt, you walked into a territory you don't know how to get out of. I'm like, I
I
can't
don't know how to make that noise.
Nope, I'm
Some-
getting further.
We'll get some screeching seagulls
further
in there
away.
or something. I don't know.
It's a very unique sound. It's hard to
is.
do.
Yes.
No,
I
not
don't
even
do
close.
bird calls, so
I
Not
can
in
do a
my
loon
wheelhouse.
okay.
So our ghost ship actually, this makes me think of the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Man
Oh,
Tell No Tales, actually.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Ooh, it's a
I
good
liked
one.
the first three. The fourth one kind of lost me, but yeah, I forgot there was a fifth one. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I feel like once the fifth one came out, the fourth one made more sense.
Oh, okay.
Just
That's interesting.
because the fourth one, it is kind of like you don't have the connection with Keira Knightley and Orlando
Right.
Bloom anymore
Yeah,
with their characters.
the fourth one, and I know a lot of people who it was their favorite, and I was kind of surprised because like they had been building this ongoing story with these certain characters, and it really did feel like a movie they made where only Johnny Depp and I forget the actor's name now, which is sad because he's amazing. But the guy who
Yeah,
plays the opposing captain, his ongoing antagonist, whatever.
yeah,
It's like they're the only ones who were coming back, and they just for whatever reason couldn't get Keira Knightley and the other guy Legolas. But
yeah. It makes more sense because it is kind of like him going off and doing his own thing for a bit and then
true,
getting like pulled back into like the bigger storyline. So like he kind of like
yeah.
goes off and then in the fifth one they like pull him back in.
And maybe that's why they did a fifth one, just because they're like, we know
Yeah.
enough people will go and see it. We know that this, like, maybe they had an idea the whole time, and then they wanted to tie it in. I I did keep reminding myself while I was watching it that like Keira Knightley, like their whole storyline was wrapped up pretty well. So like it makes sense that they're not there, and he's basically Davy Jones now, so he can only come on land. I think it's once a year for like a
It's
day.
once every 10 years for a day.
Oh my god, I forgot what a high cost that was. Not to
Yeah.
mention,
Live
not
forever. You can only
yeah.
go to shore once every 10 years.
I was gonna
Once
say
a
yeah. Not to
decade.
mention like he's immortal, so for him it's like who cares? I don't think she was. That's not part of
No,
her
she's
thing.
not.
She's just a human, so he's gonna check in with her every 10 years and watch her age and die, and then he's gonna be like, cool. I mean,
Now what?
well, and they were certainly young in the movies, but like this is an age when she's probably gonna die in a few decades, like maybe by at the
Well,
most 60. At the most she's gonna make 60.
so that's why I totally thought that she would have been on like this quest for the Fountain of Youth, which was the fourth
Oh,
one.
yeah, that would
Would have made sense. Just just saying that would have made a lot of sense for her to go find the Fountain of Youth and learn how to live forever
there are so many
with her
executives at
husband that lives forever.
yeah, there are so many executives at Disney, by which I mean zero executives at Disney, listening to this just thinking like who the fuck didn't think who dropped the ball on
Who
that
didn't
shit?
think of this?
Yeah, we made the movie that would be perfect for her to continue her adventure, and we
Yeah.
didn't think we brought in what's her name to. Boy, I am doing terrible with names today. The Cruz. The hell's her name? I know it's
I know who you're
Cruz.
talking about, though.
Yeah, but
Is it
the
Penelope
other
Cruz?
actress. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, it just seemed like they just kind of thought, well, we can't not have a sort of semi love interest. Her character just sort of felt out of place. I don't
Yeah.
know. It just
It's definitely a little choppier, but
yeah, but it does make me want to see the fifth
regardless.
one.
Yes.
And we've gone on a
This
long
made
enough
me
tangent.
this made me think of the fifth one just with kind of some of the vibes and some of the storyline in that fifth movie. For anyone who has watched it, this will kind of make sense. So our ship, SS Ourang Medan, is what is called a ghost ship, which the term ghost ship applies either for it usually applies for a ship that is missing all of its crew with like no explanation, or all of the crew dies with seemingly no explanation. So it's
Okay.
eerie and
Yeah.
spooky. So
I will say I think that because I think I know the distinction you're talking about, the idea of like other sailors come upon an actual
Yeah. They
ship,
come
and
upon the
it's
ship.
yeah, and they're like, they're trying to hail them, putting up not sails, flags and stuff, like, hello, can you? And there's just no response. They get to the ship, they board the ship, and they're like, there's just nobody here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how is this ship just out here with no one? I think the idea of that is much creepier than the idea of like their ship went down in a battle or something and they were
Yeah.
lost at sea, and like the idea of stepping onto just an abandoned ship in the middle of the sea is so horrifying to me.
Yeah. So this particular ship, the it was said it was shipwrecked. So like it
Mm,
did sink to some capacity in the Dutch East Indies. And the name of the ship is a little odd since
really?
Orang is Malay or Indonesian for man, and
Mm,
Medan is the name of a large city in Indonesia. So essentially, it means a man from the city of Medan,
huh.
which all ships, almost every single one, has some sort of name that's very feminine.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems
That's
to be the kind of tradition. Yeah, that's an odd sort of
so it's
outlier there.
a little odd, but if you have a boat, you can name the boat whatever you want.
That's
So
true.
you don't have to stick to only using like female type names.
Just a very progressive person for the time, and they're like, I like dudes and I like them from Medan.
Maybe
That's that's what I'm calling my boat.
it's very possible. So our ship was shipwrecked in the Straits of Malacca waters, which is in the waters of Indonesia, kind of in that area. And everyone on our ship died mysteriously. Nobody knows
Oh,
why. No one knows how. They all died. And the dates are a little fuzzy since some sources say is 1940, some say is 1947, and some say is 1948. It just depends on like who you look at.
oh wow. I will say that just to confirm, you said 1948?
Yes, the
Wow, okay.
1940s.
I well, now I do feel like my pairing's a little off because I was thinking like Pirates of the Caribbean times, like
Yes,
16, 1700s.
this is a newer ship. Our
All right.
ship was at the time the ship was about 40 years old. So
Oh
built in the
wow.
1900s, and it is more along the lines of like the Titanic. It is a
Hmm.
5,000 ton cargo steamer ship. So
Wow.
a
Okay.
large, big metal ship. Think more Titanic
Yeah,
type.
which is also more terrifying because this is probably an age, even if the ship is that old, they would almost certainly have had some kind of relatively long range like electronic communication. So the idea that they would just be gone and have no SOS, no nothing is really weird.
Yeah, the whole thing is weird. There was a total of 23 crew members, which was including the captain and a number of people who were in fact native to Indonesia. And
Hmm.
people weren't really sure where they were going, what they were carrying. Those things were not really known since the ship was not registered with
Oh,
it wasn't registered with the Lloyd's Register Group Limited, which if
does that mean it's a
I
pirate ship? Are they pirates? Is it a pirate ship?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's not a pirate ship,
Oh,
but I wouldn't necessarily say it is.
can neither
I
confirm
can
nor
neither confirm
deny.
nor deny.
Well,
But
that's just fine. Wink, wink. Pirate ship. It's totally a pirate ship.
Per maritime law, you do have to register your vessels, your ships, because
Right.
they also set all of the rules and regulations for boats. So like what type of anchor you use, how many lifeboats you're supposed to have, flotation devices, like
Yeah.
little nitty-gritty things like that they set. And they also keep all of the records for where ships port when they leave and what they're doing.
Right. And I imagine a lot of it has to do with just like safety for everyone, safety on the seas,
Just
knowing,
safety.
yeah, like
Knowing if a
knowing,
ship has disappeared.
right, exactly. So they're like, there's more to this than just like commerce and economics. It's like filing a flight plan if you fly a
Yeah.
plane. Like you have to do that for the sake
Yes.
of everyone. So
You
I
have to.
imagine, yeah, I imagine, and there again, especially in the 40s, this isn't the age of just wooden ships and stuff.
Yeah.
That seems extra suspicious is the word I'm looking for. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they register that? If you're an up and up legitimate like business ship, why wouldn't you be registered?
Yeah. And I cannot say if those rules and regulations apply to smaller vessels like a sailboat or a small
Oh,
like
right.
speedboat, but they might. I'm not going to say that they don't because I know that when you have a boat, it does have to be registered. Like you register a vehicle, you register your boat.
True. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I was
So
I was
there
getting ready. I was getting
is
ready to
that.
like slam you and just be like, "Well, I'm sure there's some kind of weight limit or, commercial size." But no, you're right. I think pretty much any boat of any size you have to have registered.
You
It's got to have the
do.
numbers on the side and all that.
I think I'm not sure if you would have to register like a kayak or a canoe
You're right. There might be. You
or
know
like
what?
a
Actually,
very small sailboat, but
no, I think
even then,
I'm trying to wonder. I think my dad. God, I don't remember now. Maybe not. There's got to be some limit somewhere, but either way, I suppose it doesn't really matter now. We're talking about a
no,
giant ship,
we're talking about a large
so
ship,
it's
a
it's
shipping
definitely, yeah.
ship, one shipping cargo, big,
Yeah.
big
There's
ship.
getting caught on tangents, and then there's just wasting time. Pirates of the Caribbean was fun. This is just completely irrelevant.
So our ship has accounts of this accident happening and those being recorded. It first appeared in a Dutch Indonesian newspaper, which is called De Locomotief Samaringash Hanels
That's cool.
Advertenti. And it had a few publications with two photographs of it, actually, which was February 3rd, 1948, February 28th, 1948, and March 13th, 1948. And it was not Friday the 13th because I checked. I was curious.
Was that a
And
year after it was lost? Didn't you say
that was
47?
when it was
Oh,
lost.
okay. My bad.
So I think it was after the incident had occurred, this all came about. And the name of the ship that found the SS Ourang Medan was never mentioned in these publications. So it is
Ooh,
kind of unknown as to which ship made this discovery. So,
interesting.
yeah. Our ship was found 400 nautical miles, which is 460 miles,
Oh,
southeast of the Marshall Islands, which is, if I am remembering correctly, that is actually around where Amelia Earhart's plane went down.
no way.
Yeah, I know
Ooh,
she was
that's cool.
going to the Marshall Islands, but her navigation was off, so it was not the Marshall Islands, but it was nearby.
Oh yeah, isn't she one of the people who famously is disappeared by the Bermuda Triangle? So maybe she didn't disappear by the
So
islands themselves.
I have to look into this more because I was actually listening to Wine and Crime earlier, and they said the same thing, except the Bermuda Triangle like isn't in that area. So I am wondering if there is some sort of Mandela effect with people misremembering Amelia Earhart disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because I remember hearing that like in school. Yeah. I'm like, oh, but that's not right.
I can easily see that happening where people are just like, yeah, no, it's oh gosh, yeah, no, that's not even close to I finally found like a globe level thing because when I typed in the Marshall Islands and it was just this little local map and I'm like, well, that doesn't
right here, and you're like, that tells me nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't help me the fuck at all. Yeah, wow, that is near Australia. That is all the way on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Oh, well be damned.
Yeah. So it is kind of in that same area.
Probably a great place to sail, not a great place to get lost.
No. There are a lot of like islands over there, but they're very far and few between. And most of them are uninhabited to very little habitation. And whether or not the people living there are friendly is questionable. You might become someone's dinner.
Ooh,
always a possibility.
Which works perfectly for our pairing, so that's fun. Nice.
There was one sole survivor of the crew that was found.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
I could not find his name anywhere. He was a German sailor on the ship.
Was the ship German?
No.
No, it was.
It was Dutch. Dutch India ship.
Right. Oh, I think that's part of why I thought it was a certain era. I was thinking of like the
East India Trading Company.
Yep. Yeah, Dutch India. That kind of got my brain going.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they were around kind of then as per our Castle of Good Hope episode. They still kind of existed. Not really then.
At least not in the same way, I suppose. Yeah. To the same degree, yeah.
Wow. So he was found by Italian missionaries, one of them being named Silvio Shirelli, and as well as a few natives in the, I want to say they were native Indonesians. It was very vague since I was not sure where exactly. But
again, this is still like, I could kind of understand if it was like the 15 through 1700s and you're relying on word of mouth and written log books and stuff. It's like, this is the 40s. Nobody had like there no. You're not telling me there was a reporter who was like really keen to get in on this story and nobody wrote anything down?
Yeah, I know.
Come on, people.
I know. I can't. It just kind of doesn't make sense in some of those ways. Just because we are in an age where we have technology. You can call someone on the phone. You maybe can't do long distance, but you can do a phone call. So like, it is an age of information.
It is, yeah. It's like the like budding, like very first burgeoning area of high speed information transportation.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, fun fact. If I'm reading this correctly, the Bikini Atoll is in the Marshall Islands, where the United States did a shitload of nuclear testing. Also, the supposed origin of both Godzilla and SpongeBob.
And SpongeBob. I totally thought that SpongeBob was like near the Bahamas.
Bikini Bottom is apparently based on, or is, I take that back. I watched a video on it a long time ago. But like, I don't know if it was necessarily confirmed to be based on Bikini Atoll, but the whole theory was that hypothetically all of these weird characters could technically exist because of nuclear radiation.
Oh.
But some uber nerd apparently did a deep dive on how, like, if you follow some of the episodes where they go like into prehistoric times, they're like, well, these weird anthropomorphized creatures existed long before Bikini Atoll was nuclear tested, so it couldn't possibly. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's still a cartoon show, so who gives a shit?
It's a children's cartoon.
Yeah, none of this is real science, so it doesn't matter.
So our sole survivor told the story of kind of what happened, and this was also reported from just people who showed up to help with the situation, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So around June of 1947, 2 American vessels navigating through the Straits of Malacca, which was the ship the City of Baltimore and the Silver Star. Both ships picked up distress signals from a nearby ship, which was the Ourang Medan. And a radio operator was signaling from the ship an SOS in Morse code.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of flies in the face of all of my critiques from earlier.
I didn't want to crush your spirits right then and there and just be like, we're squashing this now. So they did send a distress signal, which is like the eeriest signal I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So it says, "We float. All officers, including the captain, dead in chart room and on bridge. Probably whole of crew dead." Then there was a few kind of confused dots and dashes later, and then it just signals, "I die."
Oh my god. Yeah, that is pretty horrifying. Oh my
Very
god.
horrifying.
Yeah, especially being on the bridge of the other ship and like getting this message in, and oh my god. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I die.
So it is reported that after this chilling message, the crew of the Silver Star, although we cannot entirely confirm if it was the Silver Star or the City of Baltimore, they were able to find the ship, and they found the ship undamaged. So like
That's
just
creepy.
untouched, not damaged, just kind of sitting there. So they were like, okay, well there's still a distress signal, so like whatever it is, like we should rescue the crew. We gotta get out there. And in this rescue attempt, they boarded the ship and found that it was just covered in corpses. Everyone was dead.
Wow.
And the faces of everyone looked kind of frozen in fear. And they described them as being reminiscent of horrible caricatures almost. Like just generally disturbing.
Yeah, they're like someone sculpted them to be as horrifying as possible, except they really died like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And just as they were preparing to start towing the ship, it caught fire.
Oh my god.
So they had to get out as soon as possible. So they all got off the ship. So they're like, okay, well, like we can't take the ship now because it's on fire. And as they moved away, just because they weren't sure what was even being held on the ship, they tried to put some distance between them and the ship. It did have an explosion and then sank.
Wow. See, that's what happens when you don't register. Nobody knows what you're carrying. Nobody knows where you are. And you don't know if anyone's going to be around to help you. And then I have to admit, though, that is pretty crazy that they just, like, that the guy who sent the last message had enough forethought to know that he was going to die, because Morse code is not a fast way to communicate. So he already knew he was dying, and he had time to send that last message.
Yeah. And they must have been really good at Morse code.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was the
He
that
knew how to do
age's
like the radio signals.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was the age of that time, like the kind of person who's like a super fast texter. Like they can do the
Mhm.
T9 style texting with one hand without looking.
Yeah. Me in my youth at one point.
Yeah.
Not
Don't you
anymore. I
yeah,
can't
don't
do
you,
it anymore.
I was gonna say, don't you kind of miss T9 just a little bit? Like you could
You could
feel
feel
where
the
the buttons
buttons, so
were
you could like
exactly. Yeah,
literally
there was
text
a
without looking at it.
yeah, it was awesome. You'd be driving down the freeway and you're like, they always say don't text and drive, but I know what I'm doing. So many taps for
I
big L, so many taps for a small A.
I had one where the screen slid up and I had the full keyboard.
Yes,
So like
absolutely.
I could text from my pocket because I knew the keyboard. So I
Oh,
could like text with the full keyboard like in my pocket.
yeah.
I
I
didn't
I
do it
was
often,
never.
but I could do it.
I did have uh one of those phones. I kind of missed the physical keyboard, but I never was good enough to like actually slide it open in my pocket and type. I couldn't. I tried very few times and never succeeded.
Yeah.
Well done. Good for you.
Thank you. So before our sole survivor died, because I'm assuming he was like sick or something, and I'm not
Yeah,
entirely sure if like he maybe was removed from the ship before all of this.
that's what I was going to ask. Like,
Because I
just to clarify, the survivor you're talking about is the SOS guy.
it is not the SOS guy, it's a different person. So
Oh shit.
he was I want to say he was either on the ship and then like was no longer on the ship before this tragedy,
Right.
but I could not find anything that really stated
Okay.
how.
So yeah, he did not die. Like he wasn't found on the ship and they got him off.
No, they found
He
him later.
okay.
So
Okay.
like he could have seen that like something was happening, jumped ship and like somehow got to one of the islands, which I feel like is a feat.
Yeah.
But either way, he told the missionary Silvio Shirelli that they were carrying some badly stowed oil of vitriol, which is sulfuric acid,
Oh my god.
and that he
Hold
believed
up.
that the crew died from poisonous fumes on the boat.
Yeah. Yeah. There it is.
And
Okay.
he told him the boat was traveling from a small unnamed port in China and that their destination was Costa Rica. Which
Huh.
from China over to Costa Rica, like that would kind of make sense. Kind of. Kind of. It's a hard kinda with where they are.
Yeah.
But either way, they were deliberately avoiding authorities for whatever reason. So
Oh
there
god.
seems to be a reason as to why the ship was not registered, why they took the path they did, and why they were like trying to avoid other ships.
Yeah, and not to mention, if that guy is to be believed that they had sulfuric acid, I'm hardly an expert on such chemicals, but I don't believe it's like a full-on controlled substance. So I would have to
Yeah.
assume like it's not like they're mining it secretly somewhere and they can just pull sulfuric acid out and they're like, oh, we got to get this across and sell it to somebody quick. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's sulfuric acid. It's a modern chemical. It's a powerful chemical that yeah,
Yeah.
it's hardly something that one would need to smuggle, I imagine.
Yeah. And there were a few reports that it wasn't the Marshall Islands, it was the Solomon Islands, which I think they're within like the same general area. So
Yeah.
it's kind of little things that's like, okay, that's being like a little nitpicky. Unless,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't entirely know where the Solomon Islands are, but I believe they're within like the same like chain of islands as the Marshall Islands, or they're like nearby. It's not like the Bermuda Triangle and the Marshall Islands.
Right,
It's not that big of a difference from what I understand.
Okay. It's at least reasonable that one could be mistaken for the other.
Yeah. And there were some reports that the SOS report differed than what Silvio Shirelli stated, which was the one that I read to you. But if no one's coming forward to claim that they were the ones that rescue or like went on this rescue mission and heard the distress call, then that's kind of a moot point.
Right. Yeah.
You can't really sit there and be like, oh, well, that's not the same. It's like, okay, well, how do you know? Well, I just know.
I just know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure you do. Sure. And
real quick fun fact. It's I've looked up a little bit of stuff on inhaling sulfuric acid fumes.
Oh,
and
enlighten us, please.
It mostly will resolve on its own. It won't necessarily, depending on how bad it is.
Okay.
The concentration of it.
All right.
It can be treated with steroids and stuff like that. However, it can potentially lead to laryngeal carcinoma.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, likely not what killed the crew, because that, I'm guessing that wouldn't happen quite so quickly. But it can potentially lead to because of like scarring and coughing and stuff. It can lead to liquid pooling within the lungs. So hypothetically, you could drown to death in on dry land. So that's fun.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, maybe what happened to them. Maybe it was a strong enough concentration.
That's possible. And there are a few theories as to what was going on. Some people believe that they were involved in some sort of smuggling operation. So could not necessarily say that they aren't pirating things.
Yes, pirates! They're fucking pirates! I knew it! They're pirates.
And some people believe that they could have been carrying potassium cyanide, nitroglycerin, or even potentially a stock of wartime nerve agents.
Ooh, that? Yeah. Okay. Because there again, like even...
This is 1948.
Ooh, right. And that would be something that one would have to smuggle. Because there again, like nitroglycerin... Oh, Jesus. Nitroglycerin. Not illegal. Definitely volatile. That could explain the explosion. But yeah, not illegal. Not something that you would have to smuggle. That's...
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, nerve agents. That seems to fit the bill.
And for anyone who is not sure what a nerve agent is, it is a gas which disrupts the messages from your brain, through the nervous system to your organs.
I mean, to be fair, there were multiple people on that ship, so brains plural does apply. So it would
apply. The multiple brains were disrupted.
Yeah. That would also explain why he knew he was dying when he sent the messages. Like, oh God! And they're usually, again, not that I'm an expert in these particular sorts of chemicals, but I don't think any of them have a particularly pleasant death associated with them. They're usually pretty terrible.
No, and fun fact for everyone. Potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin have negative reactions when mixed with seawater.
Oh.
Something in the seawater basically puts off a poisonous gas, which would account for the entire crew being affected, because if it's in the holds of the ship and it rises up, the gas is escaping, so no matter where you are on the ship, it will find you.
Yeah, unless you're essentially overboard. Because I mean, even if you're, if you're on the deck of the ship, maybe you'd be safe. Because if you're like on the bow of the ship, away from any kind of ports where this deadly gas would be emanating from, you might be safe. But yeah, that would explain too why the one guy was safe if he got off before.
And with that, it is also possible that instead of being poisoned by the gas, you are asphyxiated by the gas, which could explain their horrible faces. Because if they're freaking out and they're like, I suddenly can't breathe.
Oh, they would be conscious of their own demise. Oh god,
that's horrible.
Terrible.
So horrible.
It does, yeah, it does. It does lend a lot of credence to the idea of nitroglycerin. I did it again, nitroglycerin, because it is also notoriously volatile. Like not just obviously toxic to ingestion, but just jostling, like it can explode. Like it's really unstable.
Yeah, and some people do believe that they would have been transporting the nerve gas for from the Japanese military, and it was stored in China, but then could have potentially been handed over to the US, which either could be because we didn't want a paper trail of it, which this would negate any sort of paper trail.
Very true.
And if that was the case, they would want it to be on a non-registered ship.
The only survivor was a German. Ooh.
That is true.
The plot thickens like so much nerve gas.
Yeah. I mean, and the US government has done some very not okay, sketchy things and just been like, no, it's us. Oops.
What are you talking about? The government's never done anything bad. It's never poisoned people or, just killed people.
Yeah,
it's what?
I mean, there's a reason they don't teach you that they poisoned alcohol during Prohibition in school.
Oh my god. Yeah.
There's a reason they don't tell you some of these things.
Yeah, the main one that comes to mind is not necessarily present day, but fears of present day. The best argument I ever heard for not trusting vaccines was I think it was like an African American community in like this. I think it was the 60s. They just straight up infected people with syphilis, and as I heard, what I read was literally just to see what happens. And it's like, and it was under the guise of like a polio vaccine.
Yeah, they didn't tell them
like
that they injected them and infected them with syphilis. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's the government for you.
There's a lot of examples from us helping to overthrow other governments because
profit, basically.
It was for profit and because we're like, no socialism.
Oh, right. The best reason.
We have to spread democracy.
Yeah,
our democracy.
No imminent threat, no like even real economic problem, just we don't like their form of government. Fuck that.
I mean, we also did a whole thing with birth control in Cuba that we just didn't tell anyone about.
Oh god.
That was a nightmare. There's a lot of things. So honestly, them just being like, yeah, I just need this does not surprise me. And for them to be secretive about it does not surprise me.
Oh, good. That is
one theory.
I do love the most disturbing thing about this story is just that like any kind of assumed answer is plausible, not only plausible, but has no real positive impact. Like there's basically nothing about this story that you could assume is the truth that is a good thing.
Yeah. And there is another big theory.
Ooh, okay.
And that is that everyone just simply died from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh.
which would have been either because there was a
Like an
smoldering
engine?
fire or some sort of malfunction in the boiler room where all of the
Yeah.
pipes go throughout the
Yeah,
ship.
that's what I was thinking, like some kind of exhaust problem with the engine or what have
Yeah.
you.
And then the escaping gas, like if it's in the pipes, no matter where it goes, it doesn't matter where you are, it will escape and poison you on the way out.
Right. Although I do think that that doesn't play quite as well into the idea of the horrified faces. If I'm not mistaken, carbon monoxide poisoning has a tendency to kind of lull one into a sort of not euphoric state, but you kind of just fall asleep.
Yeah, it is more of a falling asleep
You
than
feel sluggish. You just kind of
yeah.
feel tired, and yeah, I feel like most crew members probably wouldn't necessarily realize that something bad was happening. They would all just be like,
I'm really
I'm gonna,
tired.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just take a nap real quick.
I'm gonna just nap right here. I'm gonna nap right here.
Yeah, they're all like, hey guys, let's just take five, huh?
Come back
Let's just
in a
do
little
real quick.
bit. Snap.
Yeah, it's just the captain goes on the PA, just like, hey guys, we're just gonna take a chill, all right? Everybody,
I'm
just
just gonna
find a
nap.
yeah, just find a corner of the ship, pop a squat. Let's just punch out for a little bit, okay?
Yeah. I will say if there was some sort of just fire on the ship, that actually would not be super unheard of because the Titanic was just like on fire.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. Like it would yeah, it's kind of amazing how many explanations there could be for this cuz even if it was a small fire like you were saying, like it once you get below deck, it's essentially a sealed area. Like there's
Yeah.
no opening. So the carbon monoxide would just continue to spread.
Hmm.
And then eventually and like it would spread outward from the fire, so one would assume that it would spread it would potentially the toxic fumes would spread faster than the fire potentially, so they wouldn't necessarily know anything was wrong, and then even when the rescuing ship came to check it out,
They
they
wouldn't
might
know.
not
And then
even
as they're
right.
like, oh, there's a fire. Like it could have
Right.
already been on fire.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that is there's a
Yeah.
lot of weird twists for this one.
It's so weird.
It's weird. I'm still sticking with pirates. Either way, I'm sticking with pirates. That's just
I
they gotta
definitely
be
think that
pirates.
they could have been pirates. And there is some major skepticism that because the ship was unregistered, it simply did not exist.
Well, okay. I mean, that's definitely one theory.
Yeah, they're like, there's no records, it doesn't exist. Which, if the whole point was to be secretive, then that's kind of the way you want things to go. That, like, if shit hits the fan, you're like, it doesn't exist. Whew.
Well, and oddly enough, that also kind of plays into the idea that this is an age when they have the technology to communicate. So
Mhm.
the idea that it might literally never have happened and this is somehow just a story that kind of developed and spread word of mouth, like I suppose it is possible that this was just a story of someone that they started to spread, and for that age, for lack of a better phrasing, kind of went viral, and now it is a story in the annals of history that can't be proven or disproven. So it's like, it's I suppose it's possible it could have just not existed if we don't
Yeah.
have any real official record.
So I did look back on one of the sources that I have, and it
Okay.
did say that one of the lifeboats was missing. So our lone
Ooh.
survivor
Yeah.
could have known that something was going on, kind of saw that something was going down, was like, I'm getting off this ship. I am done. And he was warned not to abandon ship and just simply ignored it. And then he could have died just from being exposed to sea exposure. Just and then when they found him, he like was able to tell someone about the tale, but just was kind of at the point where it's like I kind of can't recover from this.
Look, I'm not gonna. I don't want to go too far into the conspiracy theory hole, but if movies by M. Night Shyamalan have taught us anything, it's that when you find the sole survivor of a catastrophe like this, there's really only one answer, and that's superpowers.
Superpowers.
Superpowers. This guy's Superman.
Wow. Do the
Just-
timelines match up for Superman?
I think he was created as a comic book in the 40s. Oh, well, now I have to look that up.
Well, this is something I wouldn't know. So
and I think I might be thinking of Captain America, because Captain America was literally
was in the 40s.
Yeah, he was literally created to fight Hitler. Like that was his whole point was, oh shit, June 1938.
No. I mean, our story
Oh,
is
look at that.
10 years later, but
Oh.
still.
Maybe they knew him.
Improbable.
He was a sailor, and they just, like, whoever created Superman, apparently a person named Jerry Siegel, knew this guy. Maybe he was just like, yo, I got this friend. He's from outer space. He's super chill. He's really cool. He can leap a tall building in a single bound. You got to check him out. I call him Superman.
Hey. Weirder things have happened.
Sure. I don't know. I'm not sure anything on the level of Superman has happened, but I did just watch that movie.
Have you been to the bottom of the ocean? It is a weird place.
Oh, yeah, I have heard that. I have. There is a reason they call that even stranger than, like, outer space. Because they're like, space has just a lot of nothing, whereas the ocean has a lot of shit that we just don't have the technology to really study.
Oh my god, it's unlike the noises the ocean makes. Like the Marina Trench just makes noise.
Yeah, it is kind of weird to think too that we arguably have more technology to study space than we do the bottom of the ocean. Like we have enough to study like a vacuum. And it's easy enough once you get something away from Earth's gravity, it's easy enough to just give it a push and just like send it off into space.
Yeah.
But like there is shit and pressure that you have to take into account when you go into the bottom of the ocean, and it's also just real dark. You know, I feel like space is actually brighter than one thinks. There's stars and suns everywhere, but bottom of the ocean, it's dark as shit.
Yeah, the ocean is scary.
It is kind of scary.
I will say that a lot of people are quick to say that because the ship had a masculine name, that is already a bad omen and that's bad luck.
Oh, okay.
And sailors are notoriously superstitious.
It is kind of ironic, the idea that, if I'm not mistaken, it's a long-held seafaring tradition, like a woman on a ship is bad luck or a bad omen, but then you name the ship a feminine, like ships tend to have a feminine identity.
Yeah.
So why would having a woman on board be a negative thing if the ship, in whatever term, is technically feminine? I always thought that was kind of weird. Like, why?
I don't know. We'll have to look into that, though, and maybe do that as another episode.
I would love to. I mean, we probably won't, but I love the idea of it.
I love the idea. And
okay. Maybe we will.
Yeah. We have a lot of options that we can go with for episodes.
That's true. There's a long list. Our general motto is yeah, our general motto is I don't know and I'm not looking it up. So I figure the chances are better that we won't. But I'm not ruling it out.
Yes, I am not ruling it out. And realistically, nobody really knows what happened on the SS Ourang Medan. It's a mystery.
That's a good mystery. I'm not gonna lie. Like the idea that there's so many. The weird thing is that this kind of a thing has so many potential, like realistic explanations.
Yeah, it does. And before I completely forget, our sources are Wikipedia and
Oh,
Mental Floss today. Before I
ooh,
completely close everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mental Floss.
it's a very weird case, and I definitely think there's something fishy going on here. Since
Seep. Nice C pun. That's a
thank you.
good, yeah.
Since people don't want to really talk about it, and they're like, well, like we don't know, but like we know.
Yeah. Well, it makes me think of like for anyone who watched BuzzFeed Unsolved, there was almost always at least one theory. They were really good about like presenting the story,
Love
showing the
God.
facts. Oh, so good. And if you haven't, just shameless plug for a thing that is not associated with us at all, but that I really do like. Go watch Watcher on YouTube.
Yes.
And they just started their new ghost investigation. What the fuck? Ghost Files.
Oh, they started a
Pretty
new
good.
one. I gotta watch it.
Did you not
I
know?
gotta catch
Oh my
up, but I
god.
gotta watch it.
Oh my god. It is pretty good.
I am so excited.
I'm gonna hesitate to say better than BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural, but it's pretty fucking entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. And coincidentally, all of the episodes are like an hour long. They give you a lot of content.
I
Yeah,
like that. I like that because I liked when they did longer episodes for BuzzFeed Unsolved versus like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, like, I can barely like get into something in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you could definitely see how BuzzFeed realized what they had on their hands, and they were like, okay, we're gonna send a little bit more money their way, and the episodes go from like 10 minutes to like 40 minutes by the time they were done. But where I was going with that is like when they were doing those, they would show you like the facts and then present theories. And
I loved that.
Yeah, it was a really good format. And almost always, whether it was supernatural or unsolved, Ryan would be like, aliens.
Aliens.
Like, yeah, one of his final theories was like, he might have 6 random theories that are all supported by some kind of fact, and he'd be like, and of course, aliens. And then Shane would just sort of look at the camera like, it's not aliens. But this is one of those kind of stories where it's like, there are multiple reasonable, realistic explanations, and there's no way to really know. It's very intriguing. I like it.
It is. There's no real way to know unless you were there.
Yeah. And there was a guy who was there, and now we can't talk to him.
And now he's dead, so...
And now he's... Son of a bitch! I'm sorry. I don't remember if you mentioned it. Did you say when he died?
No, I couldn't find anything on it. I mean, I couldn't even get his name, so...
Oh, right. That's not gonna work.
That doesn't help.
But what you do know is he was found after the ship's disaster, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he was... I mean, he might have been lying. Or somebody made up the whole thing. Who knows? Yeah.
There's really no actual way to know.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
Well,
but it's fun to think about.
It is. We'll just have to develop a time machine at some point and go ask the guy. We'll have to travel back in time. And that's just what we're going to have to do. We'll go there.
We'll go find Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
We'll figure out who Jack the Ripper is.
Oh my god, I just listened to a YouTube video the other day that they are pretty sure they have figured out who he is. They don't... It's one of those things where they...
H. Holmes.
No! Did you say H. Holmes?
Yes.
Is that a real theory?
Mm-hmm. It's a real theory that it is
How is that possible?
America's first serial killer. Because there was a time where he was in London and it aligns with when Jack the Ripper was happening.
Shut what? No,
Yeah.
wasn't Jack the Okay, no. I was getting ready to like wind down the whole episode. We gotta shut the fuck up. There is no
I'll go sit down, I'm
fucking
sorry.
way. No, that cannot. Yeah, no. Jack the Ripper was in 1800s. H.H. Holmes was in like 19 something, wasn't he? No, I'm looking that up too.
I'll say I have to check. That is what I have heard as a theory. I honestly like could not tell you if it is like.
Oh shit, you're right. No, he died in 1896. Oh my god. I gotta do more research, I guess. Shit, you're right. Well, okay, credit where credit's due. I thought Jack the Ripper was much earlier than that. I thought it was.
It's surprising how much later he is than you want. Like,
Yeah.
When I first heard of it, my brain wanted to associate it with like 1750.
Right. Yeah, no, I always assumed it was
a long time ago.
Yeah.
When buildings in London were still made of wood.
Yeah, you're thinking cobblestone streets and horses and buggies, which does still actually fit the time frame in which he lived. You just can't help but think that it's further.
I thought it was
Yeah,
older.
fuck. I will also say I didn't know that Holmes died so young, because what I'm looking at right here is he was born in 1861 and he died in 1896. What is that, 35?
Yeah, he was young when he died. Well,
I didn't know that. I thought
we'll have to like cover him at some point because he is
okay.
Odd one. He is something.
Yeah. My mom read a very extensive book about him, and she's like, "Ooh, you should check this out." And I was like, "Okay," and then I never did.
And then I never did.
Well, I have to give you a virtual high five. I really thought I was gonna slam dunk the shit out of you there. That is disturbing. Okay.
I'm a wealth of random knowledge.
Yeah. I got really heavy there real quick. I'm like, I'm not throwing anything away. This is shit. Yeah, that was surprising. I guess because isn't he famous for having like built his hotel during the World's Fair or something? I don't know enough about history, I think is what we've learned tonight.
His like hotel of death is what I would call it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is an episode for another time. Oh, because we could really dig into that, and now is not the time.
Well, I think that's also why I was surprised he was so young, because just there's so much on him that that definitely seems like something worth having a conversation about.
Yes. And do we have ratings for our stuff today?
I've been thinking about it. I'm
thinking long and hard about it.
You know, it's an interesting situation because both the Jell-o and the drink have really grown on me as the evening has gone on, which may have to do with the alcohol itself. I can't say for sure. Possible. I did not think that the Sunny D and the very dark, because I'm using Kraken rum.
That's what I
also thought was nice, which I also thought was fitting. It's a nautical themed thing. Yeah. I think my ratio with my first drink was off, because as you've said in the past, and as we might put on a t-shirt someday, I poured with my heart. I didn't measure anything this time. I put some ice in a glass, I tipped up the bottle, and then I put in some Sunny D. And as we've kind of gone on, I've sort of changed the ratio, and it's almost dangerously tasty. I was ready at the beginning to go like maybe a 5, but I'm going to give the drink an 8. It really came around on me. If you get the perfect mixture of heavy like rum like that with Sunny D, there's something perfect. It's not quite like a Yag Bomb, which always has a little bit of kind of a bitterish sort of aftertaste.
Yeah.
I could easily find myself drinking a lot of it. I'm going to go with a 7.
All right. And our brains?
I'm gonna go with a 6. I'm not much of a Jell-O person, but the whole experience was. I feel like I'm just a high rater. Like I feel like some people would give it like a 3. 6 is low for me. The whole experience was not great. It took more work than I wanted it to. The flavor was not as good. Ultimately, what it came down to is like the secondary thing that I did with like just the regular Jell-O and then the whipped topping one poured on top of it. That was just to make the effect of like a layer of skin with musculature. And I liked eating just the regular Jell-O more than the brains.
Yeah,
So I think that the Midwesterners, as a born and bred Midwesterner, I think we're wrong about adding whipped cream to Jell-O. It doesn't need it. It makes it harder, and it was simultaneously uh harder to get out of the mold,
huh,
and like I forgot where I was going with that. It's it just wasn't a positive experience.
I see. Sorry, Buttercup is getting excited because Gabriel just got home. So she's up here with me, and
Oh,
now she's like excited because she knows he's home.
well, that's good.
So she'll be fine. He'll come up and get her.
That's
But
good girl.
so she's just like waiting at the door, like with her nose right up against it, just like, oh,
Yeah.
now she's laying in front of the door. Okay. She's gonna
Aw.
get hit with the door if she's not
Oh,
careful.
he's just gonna walk in. I hope
She
that
she like sits right in front of the door and you're like, what are you doing?
I hope it hasn't been in too much of the audio. Samus has been doing something similar where she always wants to come in and sit by the computer when I'm recording, but then she gets
Aw.
really fucking bored, and so she starts going like, and I'm like, well, then why did you come in here if you don't like she
Buttercup.
wants. Oh,
I
it's a
don't
good name.
hear Samus usually.
Okay, well
Buttercup
then
she
maybe.
is a husky, so she's pretty vocal.
Oh yeah, they do like
Yeah.
to talk. Good girl.
Yes.
Well, I
Yes.
guess I would give the whole thing a 7 then. Do you
Okay.
have ratings of your own?
Um, I would probably give the drink about a 6. I liked
Okay.
it, but I also like kind of wanted to add like triple sec to it, which I don't have, just
Oh,
to kind of give it a little bit more of that like orange bitter tanginess.
yeah, okay.
And I liked I liked the Jell-O, but I too also like Jell-O just plain, so I would also give that about a 6. So overall, just kind of a neutral 6.
Yeah. The now that you mention it, I think the drink would benefit from a little grenadine. Go kind of tequila
Mm,
sunrise-ish on it. Just
yeah.
it has a lot of tanginess to it. It could use just a slight more sweetness.
Yeah, it just needs something to kind of balance it out a little more. But
Yeah,
that being said, I would if I had the stuff for this and I was like, I want a drink, like I would maybe make this.
I agree. I definitely. Well, and now I have a whole thing of Sunny D. I didn't realize how little of it I was going to use for it. Considering that we've been doing a few more, not super technical, but some more kind of drinks with specific measurements and stuff. It's
Yeah.
definitely not a bad go-to. Just a
No.
fucking little bit of rum and Sunny D. You don't. Yeah, I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It gets the job done. But
It
what we're
does.
all leading up to is if you have any suggestions for us, either for just telling us how terrible our drinks are, you can email us at peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com. You can tweet us at peculiarpairpod, or check us out on Instagram at peculiarpairingspod. A lot of
Yeah.
P sounds, but you can also check us out on Patreon if you want one more P.
Yes, we're everywhere and we are everywhere you can find a podcast just about.
Yeah.
I don't know of any platforms that we aren't on as far as listening, so tell your friends.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Tell your friends, damn it. Go
Tell your
out and
friends to
tell your
listen.
friends Yeah, and rate us. Give us a rating, and only if it's a positive one. Don't rate us negatively. That's a dick move.
Don't be mean.
Don't listen. Yeah, don't listen to an entire episode and then go online and be all like, "Oh, this fucking sucked." I hated these.
At least give us like 2 to 3 episodes.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Let us
fair.
grow
Like,
on you.
give us a little bit of a run. Damn it, Jesus. Fucking
Yeah,
people.
give us at least a good college try.
Yeah, you just can't please everyone. You try
That's
to give
true.
them a little bit of entertainment. Do we know what we're talking about next week?
Next week is Samuel Whitmore, sorry.
Oh
Samuel
shit, really?
Whitmore. It is. And after that, because I'm changing things up as I like to do with our episodes. I have a whole list and everything, and then something happens and I'm like, I have to talk about this.
Yeah.
I want to talk about The Watcher. Because Netflix just came out with their show on it.
Oh, I
want to talk about the actual case and kind of talk about the differences between them. So for anyone who is unaware of The Watcher, it is the singular episode I have seen thus far at this point in time, although I'm hoping we can get a few more episodes in soon. Actually watch the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is done very well, regardless of whether it sticks to the reality of it.
Yeah,
and I would love to just kind of talk about the actual case itself.
Yes.
And just talk about like the differences with the show and kind of how they brought that together. Because so far, I think they're doing a very good job.
I will say, I'm surprised to hear you say that. Not that it's like not necessarily a good show. I think I haven't watched any of it yet. I'm a little worried that it's going to ruin a topic that I was going to talk about.
Oh.
I read the synopsis of like what it is, and I'm like, I think it's about a thing that I was going to talk about that would potentially ruin a topic that I was going to mention. But that is either, no matter what, it's for a future time. So whether it ruins my thing or not, we'll figure that out. But... And that also means that I have to get on my ass and finish up my thing for Samuel, because I forgot that was happening. Although,
yes, we're doing a very special episode next week for you listeners, so please stay tuned.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of ruined some of it, but they'll figure it out. If they're listening, they'll tune in. It'll be great. You'll have a lot of fun.
Yes. And until then, we will see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye-bye.